Hey, good day to you, and welcome. My name is Stan Pierchoski with Pierchoski Estate Law, and I'm so glad that something I said has captured your interest. I help clients make sure that they will qualify for long-term health care if they need it without having to lose their home or their life savings to get it, or what I like to call the secret to not going broke in the nursing home. And if you're watching this video, I'm glad that you're actively seeking a solution to the problem. And I want to let you know that you've come to the right place. I've been practicing law at my firm, Pierchoski Estate Law, in Pulaski, Tennessee for 20 years now. Estate planning is exclusively all that I do, and I love doing it, especially when I can help people like you keep from losing everything that you own just because you may have the misfortune of requiring long-term health care. Now, none of us know if we're ever going to need long-term care or not. I wish there was a crystal ball for that, but there's not. But statistics can help. Statistics tell us that 7 out of 10 Americans 65 years and older will require some form of long-term care. And unfortunately, it gets worse. 70% of Americans who do enter long-term care become impoverished within 1 year. Now that's the scary thought that used to keep me up in the middle of the night. Now let's be clear about what I mean when I talk about long-term care. I mean, if you're enrolled in Medicare, that's insurance. And that'll pay for a 30-day stay in a facility for rehabilitation or physical therapy. And that can even be extended to as much as 100 days with partial payment on your part. I'm not talking about that because Medicare will pay for all those short-term stays. I'm referring to long-term care, the care necessary when a person needs assistance with the activities of daily life. Now, I'm talking about an extended stay in the nursing home. That's what I mean by long-term health care. And I'm sure you've thought about it. And you probably also thought, how am I going to pay for it? Because you would have looked into it and you would have found that it's very expensive. Well, there really are only 3 ways to pay for long-term health care. First, there's long-term care insurance. You can purchase a long-term care policy and it'll pay for the nursing home cost, or at least it'll pay a portion of it. The problem with long-term care insurance is it's very age and very health dependent. So if you get it while you're young and healthy, I mean, it's somewhat affordable, but you'll be paying on it for many years before you may need it. If you wait till later in life, or you're beginning to have some health issues, it becomes real expensive real fast. In fact, there's less than 10% of Americans that have long-term care insurance. Second, for the rest of the 90% who do not have long-term care insurance, you can private pay. Now, the cost of long-term care is anywhere from $6,000 a month to $10,000 a month. So you do the math, and you're going to come to the conclusion that most people can't pay for very long. The third way, well, that's really just an inevitable result of the second way, because you pay until you run out of money, and then you can't pay anymore. Well, what happens then? What happens when you can't pay anymore? Are you just out of luck? I mean, does the nursing home come and kick you out on the street because you can't pay them? No, it doesn't work that way. Once your countable assets have fallen down below a specified amount, the nursing home will then help you qualify for Medicaid, and then Medicaid will pay the nursing home. So in that situation, if Medicaid's paying your cost of care, is that just a free ride? I mean, will Medicaid just continue to pay my cost of care as long as I need it without me being able to? Sadly, no. After you pass away, there's something called the Medicaid Recovery Act, and that will allow the state to make a claim on your estate for any cost of care that they've provided. This is how they manage to sell your home and other exempt property. Either way, Medicaid's going to recover as much as they can from what you own before it can be passed to your children. Now, I'm sure you've heard stories about someone having to sign the house over to the nursing home, or after someone passes away and they leave the house using a last will and testament to their children, only to have Medicaid come in front of the children and take it. Or you've heard stories that you have to give assets away to protect them. Or if you do give them away, you have to wait like 60 months before you qualify. I suspect you've heard stories just like these. So what's the solution? I mean, you've worked hard all your entire life. You've supported your family. You've taken care of all their needs. You have accumulated a lifetime of wealth, a home, perhaps the family farm. an investment portfolio, savings in the bank, CDs, a retirement account, not to mention all your stuff, all your personal property that's all around the house, in the garage, out in the barn. You've created this accumulation of wealth to take care of you and your spouse and the people you love, and maybe even a legacy to leave some of your wealth behind for your children as an inheritance. Whatever your reason, you've created your nest egg. And the question on your mind is this: is there a way for a person like you or me to protect our nest egg without worrying about losing everything we've worked for during our lifetime? Well, the answer is yes. And if you've read the free case studies that I sent you, you've seen a bit of how that would work. And that is exactly what we do here at Pierchoski Law. We take away your pain, we take away your worry, and we help you feel confident that you'll not lose your hard-earned life savings. We do this by transferring some of your property into a revocable living trust and other property into an irrevocable living trust, all while maintaining a high level of control over the assets. The end result is a comprehensive plan that protects your property from the probate process and protects your property from lawsuits and protects your property from creditors and, most of all, protects your property from the catastrophic costs of long-term health care. Sound interesting? Well, you might be thinking, I've never heard of such a thing. Well, this concept of protecting property falls into the category of asset protection trusts. And asset protection trusts are a unique type of trust that our legislatures created for us to use to do exactly that: protect assets. Now, these asset protection trusts are very specific and they're very misunderstood. So I think the reason that you've never really heard about it before is because there's not many attorneys who understand it. And therefore there's not many of them who actually draft these type of trusts. And it's probably a good thing that they don't. Because if you don't understand it, if you don't know what you're doing, a mistake here can be very unforgiving. On the other hand, I do understand asset protection trusts, and we deal with them every day. So if this is something that interests you, I'm going to offer you a bonus. If you want to talk to me further about the secret from going broke in the nursing home, just click the link below to schedule a free 15-minute call with me. Now, this is a no-cost, no-pressure call where we'll talk about your individual circumstances, your family dynamics, and I'll generate an analysis that's specifically for you to show you exactly what assets I can protect for you and when. I guarantee it'll be an eye-opener. But look at it this way. If you do nothing, everything you have and everything you've worked for is at risk. And nobody wants that if there's a better way. So don't wait any longer. Timing is important with this type of planning. So schedule your free 15-minute call now, and I'll talk to you then. Hey, thanks for watching.